This year was my first trip to Uganda. I'd seen pictures on the refrigerator, these little pictures of kids smiling. That's what I knew about them. When we arrived in Uganda in the village, I stepped off the bus and I heard a little voice that said, "Wayne." I looked around, "Wayne?" And it was this little girl. And I didn't know who it was. And she says, "I'm Janet." It was Janet, my sponsor child. She was much smaller and looked younger than I thought she would be. And so I sat down for the rest of the day, it seemed like, and we talked. And she told me about her home. And what she told me was amazing, that she got up in the morning at 3 in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning, hauled water up to the house to take care of things, took a shower, which was a bucket of water over her head. Then she walked in the dark to school. She started studying, and it wasn't until about 11 in the morning that she got her first meal of the day, a large plate of corn mush that we supplied her. She would take a large plate and eat half of it with her hands. The rest of it, I said, "What are you going to do with that?" "Take it home to her mother and brothers." Okay. So I said, she was going to walk home 3 miles of this. So I said, "Janet, is there a way that we could visit your house?" And so later that day, it was arranged for us to go there. And this is my story. The most amazing thing from Uganda, for sure. As we were approaching the house, we had to stop our bus because the ruts in the road were so deep, the bus could no longer move. Janet got off the bus and she says, "I'll show you a shortcut," as she guided us through these heavy brush and stuff along trails, past goats tied to trees and chickens running around. And in the distance, I saw this small brick building. That was her house we were approaching, not about 12 foot by 12 foot with a tin roof. And I thought in the doorway, it looked like there was a couple of dogs lying in the doorway. But as we got closer, I saw those were not dogs. Those are her brothers. They both had severe cerebral palsy and also physically contracted. And she gently lifted up one of them to set him aside so we could go inside. And she told us about her life and the extreme difficulties, including what her mother had to go through. And as she was speaking, Susan could not take it anymore. And she walked around the back of the house because she was crying. It seemed so sad. Here is the story. Around the house comes walking Janet, and she walks up to Susan, and this is what she said. She says, "Susan, don't cry. Be happy." She says, "God loves you. He will take care of you. So you don't have to worry. Be happy." That's what this girl said. She is happier than we were. And she has nothing. Whew, that's amazing. And she completely trusts in God. And we are participating in it.
I thank Jesus and hope for sponsoring me. The first person that it has improved my life by, because the first time I was just working for people to get from, and I have to care for my disabled brothers. And I thank this Hearts and Hope for Uganda that we are able to bless their handwork. And I thank Lord that He helped me to give me a grateful spouse and on my suicide recovery. May God bless.